Welcome to the Goalbusters Expert Peak Productivity Tips podcast, where top business experts get just 7 minutes to answer 5 rapid-fire questions about what they do and how they stay productive. Each episode is packed with actionable insights to help boost your efficiency and achieve your goals. Let's dive in and unlock the secrets to peak performance. Well, hello everyone. My name is Robin J. Emden, and I am the creator and author of the Get Resultsology system and a dedicated accountability coach. My mission is to empower solopreneurs to unlock their true potential, boost their income, and achieve extraordinary success by maximizing productivity, streamlining their businesses, and aligning their goals with their authentic vision and purpose. If you're ready to turn ambition into action and transform your goals into reality, you're in exactly the right place. My guest expert this week on Goalbusters is Jodi Brandon. Jodi is a seasoned book publishing expert who helps business owners navigate the world of writing, publishing, and marketing non-fiction books. With decades of experience in the industry, she's witnessed the rise of self-publishing and knows how to help authors make smart, strategic decisions while maintaining control over their books. Jodi specialises in guiding business owners through the unique challenges of non-fiction writing, whether they're starting with an idea or refining a completed manuscript. Her passion lies in helping entrepreneurs tell their stories in a way that enhances their authority, expands their reach, and supports their business growth. Jodi, welcome to Goalbusters.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm very excited to have you here too. And whereabouts in the world are you, Jodi?
I am right outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in the USA.
Oh, lovely. It sounds like a nice
Yeah.
part of the world up there.
It's a great part of the world. It's a great part of the world. It's a great part of even within the United States. We can get to anything on the East Coast pretty quickly. So it's great.
Fantastic. So talking of pretty quickly, shall we move swiftly on to the questions?
Let's do it. I'm ready.
All right. I'm going to start the clock. And there it goes. So first, Jodi, please, let's talk about what you do in more detail. Who is your ideal client?
My ideal client is an established business owner. So not a newbie, but somebody who's been around the block for a little bit, identifies as a leader or business owner or CEO, and they want to use a book as a marketing tool in their business. So they usually are an educator of some sort, even if they don't call themselves that, usually a lot of times a coach, something like that. So
okay, perfect. I totally relate to it and understand that. And so what exactly is the problem or problems that you solve?
The biggest problem is overwhelm and lack of information. There's a lot of gatekeeping in the traditional book publishing world. So a lot of it seems very foreign and exciting, but then when you dig in, you can't figure out what you need to do. So I sort of get rid of some of that gatekeeping and then reduce the overwhelm, because it is a big project, right? Writing a book and bringing it to market it's a big endeavor. So I can get you from concept to bound book, all the 3 stages, write, publish, market, sort of get you a solid workable plan to get you from start to finish.
Yeah, it's I can vouch for the big project thing. I did a degree, a home study degree, just before I started writing my book. The book was way harder than the degree. Right,
Yeah,
moving
it's a lot.
swiftly on. Enough of me. What is one valuable free action that the audience can implement, Jodi, that could help them solve some of the problems of writing their own book and publishing?
There are a lot, Robin. There's a lot of things you can do, but like where I have people start to sort of give them some quick wins and momentum is we talk about elementary school English, right? The who, what, where, when, why, how. I sort of have a framework where you can take each piece of that and apply something book related to kind of give you a foundation for your plan. So why are you doing this? What's your goal? Who is it for? Who's your ideal reader? The what is your book topic? The how is, what's your writing routine going to be like? How are you going to actually do this? Get to 50,000 or however many words. And then the when is sort of, the logistics, your writing calendar and routine and all those sorts of things. So when you get those, just sort of journal about them, brain dump about them, free write about them, whatever, even just think about them. You can kind of start to make a plan that will figure out what's going to be the best publishing plan for you. How long is it going to take you? All of those sorts of things. But that foundational work is really important.
Yeah, and the answer to the last question is longer than you think.
That's almost always true.
Oh, yes, I'm sure there are exceptions.
Almost always, yeah. Very
Yes.
few exceptions, though.
Very few exceptions, right. Perfect, thank you. So now we have a better understanding of what you do, Jodi. Let's dive into goal busting, focusing on how to maximize productive time to achieve business goals. So could you share any tips or advice for someone looking to improve their productivity habits? And when you're dealing with writers, I bet you've got quite a few.
I do. I think that my biggest piece of advice around writing productivity is to experiment and measure that data. So to do anything with a book more easily, right? You need to know, like, okay, is it going to take me 3 months to write this book? Is it going to take me 9 months to write this book? Well, how do you know if you don't know anything about your writing habits? So I know, for example, that I can write 1,500 words in 60 minutes most of the time. And I know that because I've experimented with, where am I writing? What time of day am I writing? What's the setup? Can I have background noise? Can I not have background noise? And, figure out what it is, measure the metrics, and then sort of figure out, okay, I know I can write this many words in this much time. So it's going to take me 4.5 months to write a book. And then I can take it from there and figure out when can I get this darn thing out into the world.
Yeah, so some lovely example there of reverse engineering. Start with
Yeah.
find out what your working
Yeah.
parameters are, and then work backwards. Okay, how long is that going to take? Yeah, excellent. Thank you. That's really useful advice. So finally, I'd like to ask you, please, Jodi, what should I have asked you today that I didn't? And your answer, please.
Well, it's so that the question that I think is not necessarily about productivity, but I think it sort of ties in is, do I have to love writing as a business owner to write a book? I think that is a question. I've never been asked that question. And I think that really kind of like cuts to the chase, right? Because a lot of people think, oh, I have to love writing or I could never write a book. As a business owner, that might not be true because you can treat it like I was just talking about, like that experiment. Just kind of like trick yourself for a little while. You're a business owner playing the role of a professional writer. You're not trying to be a professional author, right? You're just stepping into that role for a little bit of time. And if you've done that little experiment, math hack, whatever, to figure out what your metrics are, then it's really just another piece of running your business rather than, oh, I'm trying to write the great American novel or change millions and millions of lives with this book. So.
Yeah, I completely, it's almost like you're just talking to me personally now, that there's no one else on this because I totally identify. I'm not a writer,
Yeah.
but I've just finished an 80,000 word non-fiction book, which I wrote
Yeah.
for my business.
Right.
And it
Yeah.
was because I was writing it for the business. But my son, who has a degree in writing, a master's degree in writing, never forgot to mention to me that I do not know how to write a book or even write English. Our favorite expression over the last 4 years was, oh, there's another one of Dad's word salads.
Word salad is something yeah, I mean, as my background is in copy editing, that's how I came to this book publishing world. And yeah, all of my colleagues, our favorite emoji to send to each other is a pair of scissors, like snip, snip, tighten it up.
Yes. Yeah,
Get
and
to the point. Yep.
quite often he'd say to me, this sentence doesn't make sense. And I'd look at it and I'd say, yeah, it makes perfect sense. Look,
Yeah.
oh, this is what I meant to say. And then like 2 or 3 times out of 10, I go, this is what it meant to say. And I have no idea what I'm saying now. You're right. Not only does that not make sense to you, it doesn't make sense to me. What was I
Yep.
thinking? So
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. Yeah, definitely, completely relate to your comment on that. And I'm surprised you haven't been asked that before because I think it's very relevant. There's so many people in business, like myself, who they've got so much to offer and they need to get it down into some kind of written form. And the reality is that I don't think of myself as a writer. And my son,
Right.
having written 80,000 words, my son will tell you I'm still not a writer.
Well, maybe not a professional writer, but you're definitely, if you've written 80,000 words, you're definitely a writer.
Yeah, well, I've written 80,000 words. My son has edited about 300,000.
That's That's how it goes. Yep.
Absolutely. So listen, it's very fascinating talking to you, Jodi. Absolutely fascinating. How can people reach you? And also, is there like a valuable free resource that if they reach you on, say, your website, they could get from you as well as a way of connecting with you? And if you have a link, we will put it on the bottom of the YouTube video, and also you'll be saying it on the podcast, so it'll be in all the links for the podcast.
Yeah, my website's definitely the hub. You can get to anything from there, all my freebies, my newsletter, my social handles, all that stuff. And I think probably your listeners, what the freebie on my site that they would be the most interested in and get the most value out of is a 30-day email writing challenge that does that experimentation I was talking about. It's called the Ready, Set, Write Challenge. And you can find that on my website, www.jodibrandoneditorial.com/ready, set, write.
Perfect. Please don't tell me that was around 4 years ago, just before I started writing my book. I don't
No,
want to know
that's
the answer
actually
to
no.
that.
No,
It's
it's a
too late
newer
for
one
me.
because that's the problem that a lot of my clients have is they want to create a writing calendar and we create a write and I'm like, we can't create a schedule if we don't know how long it's really going to take you. And they might say, oh, I think I could probably write 5,000 words a week. And then we talk the next week and they're like, oh, it's actually about 1,500 or 2,000. I'm like,
That's
well,
right.
that's less than half. So
And
we've
before
gotta,
and before you know, you say things like I said 4 years ago, oh, I'll get this done in like 3 months. And
absolutely.
I was only out by nearly 4 years.
Well, because so many people talk about doing it so fast, right? And
Yeah.
they're the exception, everyone. They're not the rule. They're the exception. Yeah.
Okay. And on that note, I think we'll end, but reluctantly, because I think this is fascinating and a very useful topic, and it's lovely to meet you. And thank you so much for imparting your wisdom today, Jodi. Thank you again.
Happy to. This was so fun.
It was. Thank you, Jodi, and bye-bye. Thanks for tuning in to Goalbusters. If you're enjoying it, please subscribe, rate and review it on your favourite podcast platform. Your support is very much appreciated. And if you're ready to boost your online profits, skyrocket your productivity, crush procrastination and see a positive change in your bank balance, all within just 30 days, this is your opportunity. Take my free 5-day challenge at www.skyrocketyourproductivitychallenge.com.